Welcome to Njinja Media channel. This is a channel where we explore the truth behind the headlines you read every single day in Nigeria. Yogos Albert wrote a very interesting piece. He argues, lessons for all Southerners and Middle Belt. Beware of Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the former Emir of Kano. What an interesting take. For all the Southerners expressing opinions for or against Sanusi, I say, take it easy, people. Let us sit down and look. Buy your popcorn, buy your Coca-Cola, and be watching this movie. This is an interesting movie. Do not be deceived. There might be more than that meets the eye. Do you people know that Sanusi actually married a cousin? Do you know that? Do you know that the person who is now Emir, that Sanusi is married to the sister of the current Emir? This is a family affair and a family business. Mekuna no kill on herself for somebody who is among those still oppressing you. Whether this crisis is real or not, one thing we know about the North is that they never lose sight of their true goal or do anything to sabotage it. What they want is nothing but total domination of Nigeria, and that is the only ambition they have. When it comes, whenever it will come to that, they stand together. They play far ahead. Don't forget that these were the same people, and the level of lies they fabricated, the same Sanusi peddled against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan before he was made the Emir of Kano. Have you all forgotten? The Emir actually was like a payback for all the time he lied that 20 billion was missing, 22 billion was missing, 5 billion was missing, and they were all lies. If you remember again, cast your mind back. Michael Denta here, still speaking. Under Obasanjo, with Okonjo-Iweala as finance minister and Soludo as the Central Bank of Nigerian CBN, that is, the Central Bank of Nigerian governor, Southern banks became very powerful. Financial infrastructure, and infrastructural growth, not only they were growing not only in Nigeria, not only in southern Nigeria, but even in other African countries. Nigeria was Nigeria was on its way to becoming a true financial and economic powerhouse for the black world. Southern Bank, that is, the banks owned by southern Nigerian citizens, were a threat to foreign capitals, the West, the Middle East, and the Far East, and also a threat to Northern Hegemony's plan. When Sanusi was CBN governor under Omar Musa Yar'Adua, the first thing he did was to target southern banks and begin to weaken them one after the other, under the guise of fighting corruption. Fighting corruption, my foot. You saw how Buhari has been fighting corruption. Yet we have a man who stole IDP's money. Do you know what IDP is? Internally displaced people, people who have nowhere to sleep, because the same monster they created in form of Boko Haram bombed the people out of their houses. They no longer have a place to sleep. Anyway, that's a story for another day. At the same time, when this was happening, he reopened the floor for foreigners as well as Islamic financial capitals. If you remember, he effectively conducted an economic jihad that halted advancement of the South and put the North back in favorable strategic positions. Now, this is 2023. 2023 is coming, and they are playing their games. You guys are here crying for them. Please do not cry for a man who drives on Rolls Royce, who lives in so much opulence, who has been accused of mismanaging 6 billion naira of the Emirate Fund, a man who has 4 wives and many children. He lives actually the opposite of the life he preaches. The North has just realized one thing: Nigeria is ripe for change. The Northern strategists would prefer that the modernization of Nigeria take place under a Northerner than under a Southerner. So they have to present a viable Northern candidate for that. This is where Sanusi comes into the picture. You see, these are analyses that you will probably not hear on any other platform aside Njinja Media. We take our time, we make this research, and we present it to you to read, to hear, to view. If you study Sanusi's action, you will see that he's deeply pro-North and anti-South in a very intelligent, progressive way. Forget all this bragadabra he's doing. Sanusi understands what it takes to make the Northerners overtake and dominate the South in every sphere and in every way in this modern world. But when you hear him talk, you will think he's a detribalized Nigerian, or rather a pan-Nigerian. Or you might even be fooled to think that he's a government critic, which is why so many Southerners foolishly support him. And we will say here at Njinji Media, foolishly support him. We saw the other day people saying that he could be the next president and make Kingsley Moghalu the vice president. Ask yourself one simple question. It is the turn for Ndibo to become president, and there is no going back on that. What would prevent Kingsley Moghalu becoming the president and Sanusi becoming the vice? They will never push something like that because they want to be in control. You see how they have run Nigeria down in the last 5 years. The North understands that Sanusi will be more valuable to them as the president of Nigeria than as the Emir of Kano. He would not only help the North to overtake the South systematically on all possible levels, he would also modernize Nigeria so that the credit for the modernization of Nigeria will go to Northern Nigeria. The Northern future planners would rather have Sanusi in a position to become the president of Nigeria. Exactly. And that is what we will be thinking. Any Northerner that does not see this wicked Islamist jihad being repositioned to take over Nigeria is dreaming. Sanusi destroyed Southern Bank, drove their CEOs away, and jailed some. Remember, Erastus Akimbola, he built Intercontinental Bank from the scratch, and Sanusi took it over from him while he ran for his life, and that man remained a Yoruba man. Sanusi was a terror, working with his people in the EFCC. We all know that. We are not children. We are not stupid. The story had it that Saraki wanted Akimbola to buy Society General Bank, which he looted into coma, and he refused. Saraki then approached Sanusi, who was his classmate at the King's College, Lagos, to use his position as the CBN governor to destroy Intercontinental Bank and Akimbola. Sanusi then looked for a reason to do the job. Of course, there is no rich man that you look in his orifice, even if it's a baby, that you will not see shit, because that is what orifice is meant for. That was how he came up with the HOAS audit report, which he used to destroy the Southern Bank. Those banks were not in any way, shape, or form distressed. Access Bank was dying, yes, we know that. Under the management of Sanusi's friend, Intercontinental Bank was handed over to him for survival. Suddenly, Access Bank was able to buy Intercontinental Bank. How? Access Bank used Intercontinental Bank money to buy Intercontinental. Cecilia Ibu, who built Oceanic Bank, was disposed and jailed. Sanusi appointed his friend, who ran down the same bank, who ran down their own bank, to be the manager of Southern Bank that he claimed were distressed. Good logic, anyway, but good logic does not permit handing over distressed bank to former bad manager if there is no agenda. Now, people, you should be thinking here. You may not have heard that Tony Elumelu refused to employ Sanusi at UBA before First Bank employed him. Did you know that before? If not from Ginger Media. He rose in First Bank to MD of the First Bank Nigeria, controlling shares. From there, he became the CBN governor. He didn't forget or forgive Tony Elumelu. That was why he came up with that 7-year maximum term of bank CEOs to get at Tony. How can you formulate policies based on individual grudges you have with people? We have a wicked Islamic jihadist being let loose. Remember, Rufai saying that Fulani neither forgets nor forgives. Sanusi is a typical Fulani, so forget the crocodile tears that people are now shedding for him. Why do you think there is no riot in Kano? He was removed. He had no supporters. Come on, people, open your eye. Sanusi introduced the law that bank CEO cannot stay beyond 7 years. If they can't run their businesses for more than 7 years, why are people like Dangote running their own for several years? Have you ever heard of any other CEO for the Dangote group? No. But for the banks, no. He destroyed southern banks and introduced Islamic banking because southern banks were strengthening southern Christian economy. Where in the world do you run a business without making profit or charging interest? Buhari is borrowing from the international financial market and will pay interest, but will use southern resources to run an interest-free Islamic banking. The South must wake up before it is too late. So stop. Our mumu, as Charlie Boy said, must do. The North hate the South. There is no argument about that. In every aspect of it. And we do everything to pull them down. But Southern leaders are blind and they are not thinking. If you watch out, it's only Southerners that are everywhere online making noise for the same man that has systematically wanting to oppress you. The North is out there to frustrate and to slow the Southerners down by every means necessary. I give it to Sanusi. Sanusi is a very intelligent man, but an economic Boko Haramist. The same way Buhari cancelled the Lagos State Metro line to slow down Southwest development was how Sanusi used his power at the CBN to destroy Southern economy. He is still coming. Only splitting the economy will save the South. Only splitting this country into South and North will save this country. This is no time for Biafra or nothing. This is no time for Oduduwa Republic. Rather, this is a time for the whole South, including the Middle Belt, to come together and define and decide how they would want to govern themselves. It is time to say, Middle Belt, you're going to be a nation of your own. Southeast, South, and Oduduwa, nations of your own, but will now come together to have one united nation called, which any name that the people want to call it, so shall it be. We won Southerners against Buhari, but they didn't listen. The Yorubas helped in bringing him, but we now see that the Yorubas are actually regretting their action. Another intelligent Buhari, whom I was called, is Actifel is coming, and they will still fall prey. 24 hours after his dramatic dethronement, El-Rufai, his fellow jihadists, has offered him the VP of Kaduna State Investment Project. At the same time, offered him also as a VC of Kaduna State University. Sanusi has not fallen. He is rising. The South are thoughtless in many ways. In all ramifications, basically to say that we must be one. Before we forget, the same educated Islamic jihadists who beheaded Gideon Akaluka. Anyway, we will make a separate video and tell us the story, the role the Amutalab played, the role Abacha played in saving the life of this same man. Remember, Gideon Akaluka was beheaded. The Southern economy, when he had the, who is from the South, was beheaded when he had the opportunity. The North sees him as the hatchet man. The South, including the Middle Belt, be one. This is not time to play politics. This is time to be awake and know that your future is at stake. Once more, I remain your presenter, Mike Udenta. This is once more the media channel, the channel online where you can hear everything as it is, where we do not dilute the fact. We say the fact irrespective of whose ox is God. We will be giving you series of such podcasts. Remain blessed.